Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Western Reserve Player Profile time live from the MVR here in Youngstown, and I am joined by a young man that I have really enjoyed watching his career blossom. Sad to see him be a senior because I wish there were 4 more years of watching you, man, because you just got better and better every single year and really just progressed, and you did it the right way. Luke Henning joins us here on the YSN Player Profile. Luke, first thing I got to ask you is, you're one of those guys when I talk about on our podcast, when I talk about on our daily shows, and when it pops up for Big Dogs the Valley and things like that, it feels like you've been around for 8 years already. How do you keep your name constantly circling in people's minds? Is it just that you play so many sports? Is it you're involved in so many activities? What is it to you? If you're looking back and you're going, okay, that was it. That's what got me to be that guy. What was it?
Honestly, I think a lot of it's because my brother's, he was so when I was in 8th grade, he was a senior.
Yeah.
So right when he graduated, I was all the way up.
So
to
it's just
freshman.
reloading, right?
So it was 8 years in a row of just Henning. So I think people, they knew his name, and then me coming up, it was just continuously. So it's oh my God, he's been in high school forever, but I was his brother.
Everybody, I like that. Everybody talks about just the kind of high character guy you are. Coach talked about you being a teammate. I've talked to other people that just talk about the kind of young man that you are, and you're the kind of young man, everybody says it, that, I would love for him to be my son, but if he wasn't my son, I want my daughter to marry a kid just like that. For you, when you hear things like that, what is that? What goes through your head?
That's the biggest compliment because, even when dudes are down at practice or football, basketball, whatever it is, I feel like I'm there to bring up the mood no matter what it is. I'm crack a joke, just try and make everyone laugh, make the mood a little bit better.
Because it hasn't always been easy. You make it look easy. You're one of those guys that you're so talented, quick-witted. You've got just oozing with personality and athleticism. When you are in that specific situation and you look at the scoreboard and you're not on top, how do you keep your guys up? How do you, you're motivating your coaches. That's not normal. So, you're a unique young man. How do you kind of do that on your own? Who taught you to do that?
I think it just kind of goes back to my personality. I think it's just me as a person. Nothing really brings me down. I'll get mad here and there, but, overall, no matter what, we could be in a game, close game, something happens that I think's funny, I'll go up to a mid-game and just say something to them and make them laugh, and they probably won't expect it because we're still in the middle of a game.
How has, and we'll go back to football for a second, how has being a quarterback improved your leadership, and how has your leadership allowed you to be a better teammate?
As a quarterback, obviously, you got to know, every position, everyone on the field, so, just knowing all that and knowing what everyone has to do, it's you have to be kind of commanding and understanding of where other people are coming from, and I think that's helped me a lot.
All right, so there was a wrestler named Kurt Hennig a long time ago. He was also named Mr. Perfect, which is kind of where we put your first player profile when you do with Colucci. For you, how much of that is being a perfectionist, and how much of that, the grind and practice and looking over the plays and the game plan and the scouting reports, how much of that is preparation for you to be perfect, or as perfect as you could possibly be on those Tuesdays and Friday nights?
Preparation's a big thing. Watching film, no matter what sport it is, football, basketball, it's one of the biggest things you can do, because if you can just get that little bit of edge over your opponent, you're already one step ahead of them before the game even starts. But just having all that, it just helps tremendously. Even if teammates, they would need help, I'll help them. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it helps so much.
All right, you're a senior, man, a couple months. We're in 24. This is when you graduate.
Know,
you walk across that stage. They hand you a piece of paper saying you met the requirements of Western Reserve High School.
I know.
What do you want to do with that?
Well, I think after high school, I'm going to go to Ohio University.
Bobcat?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Bobbies. And I'm going to study wildlife biology.
Wait. So you're actually going to study bobcats?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. So what got you into that?
Well, I've always been a big animal guy my whole life.
Okay.
And, I want to have a job that, I'll make a good amount of money, but I don't want to be bored at my job.
Sure.
I want to be being active, doing fun things. I don't want to be a depressed old man.
So are you going to be like the next Steve Irwin, or what are we looking at here?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Crikey.
Yeah, really.
What ultimately, when you saw this opportunity down at OU, which is not a party school at all business down there.
Yes.
what led you to that? I mean, being an animal guy, that's one thing, but like you have to make a almost a business decision for yourself and say, hey, I still want to make money, but I want to do something I love. Kind of what you said, but like there's a million things out there. What had you zone in on that particular subject?
So, like, I mean, we live out in the country. We have a lot of land, so I'm always fishing, just outside, outdoors.
Yeah.
And I've always loved dogs. I have a big Saint Bernard. He's like my dog. I got him since he was a puppy, so I've been big with him all the time. And fishing, I just love fishing. So the animal part of things is just really intriguing to me for some reason.
So you're gonna hang it up. You're gonna hang up the cleats. You're gonna hang up the sneakers.
That's what it's looking like.
Oh man! So
It's sad.
is there a dark horse that could come in at the last moment and say we want Luke?
I don't know. I mean, OU's got
What would you?
just about all of me.
So yeah, what would like if there was a sport you could play in college? What would it be?
Football.
It'd be football.
Yeah.
So if somebody came and said, "Hey, we saw your tape, we love what you did," you'd have to think about it, or you're pretty much married to OU at this point.
I mean, there might be a little bit of thinking, but it also depends.
Recruiters, you heard it right there. There it is. There's
But I
the
guess
doors open.
There's a little bit of if they have like the thing I want to study there. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously I'd look into that at school, but a lot of people is married to OU right now.
What what are you gonna miss most about high school sports?
Just that bond you have with everyone. I mean, football, you have a huge bond. You got so many people on the team. You're working all summer, all year round. Same with basketball. We got summer league. So I mean, it's just that bond you make with even the younger guys who you might not think you would have ever made a friendship with. And same when I was younger, like a bunch of seniors that I never thought I'd be friends with. I mean, I still talk to this day. So that's the biggest thing.
You doing anything in the spring?
No, my mom was trying to talk me into playing baseball, but
Oh,
last
come
time
on.
I played baseball was like 3rd grade.
That's all right.
I did track my sophomore year, but
They'll welcome you back with open arms. I guarantee it.
yeah,
Guarantee it.
I don't know. I'm not very
For-
big on baseball.
From your standpoint, I mean, have you thought about the last moments of your basketball career? I mean, really, at that point, it would be the last moment of you being
Yeah.
a Blue Devil. What goes through your mind? What do you want people to remember you for?
I definitely do think about it. I mean, football kind of prepared me because that last game from football, I mean, it's obviously really sad. It's my favorite sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that brotherhood you've had all, like your whole life up
Sure.
to this point. So obviously that was sad. And knowing that this is my last sport, most likely, and that I won't really get to experience this ever again in my life, it's obviously really sad. But people remembering me, I mean, just a fun, nice, caring guy that friends with everybody.
I love it. All right, last question for you. You're a hero to many, and your brother's over there with his Steelers shirt on, which I love. Coach Sorensky, not so much.
Yeah.
But you're a family guy, first
Yeah.
and foremost. Your influences that you've had your entire life, what stands out to you about your family, and what has made you who you are?
I mean, my parents, my mom, my dad, they work very hard. I mean, they're blue-collar workers. They both work in factories, so that's obviously hard work. And then my brother, watching him go through high school, all of his hard work, that really has been down on me.
It's the three of you, right?
Yeah, me, my mom, dad, Todd, and then little brother Cash.
All right, so Cash is how old?
4. Just a birthday in
We
December.
got our eyes on you, young man. You're ready to go. You'll be on here before you know it. And he'll be saving bobcats and tigers and jungle cats. Luke, thank you so much. I mean, first
Thank you.
off, I'm a fan first and foremost,
Thank you.
and the way that you've carried yourself. I mean, I wish that my son could be just like you,
Thank you.
and that my daughter
Thank you.
someday can marry someone like you. So
It's a
thank
big
you for
compliment.
being you
Thank
and
you.
being the best that you could be. We'll be back right here on YSN right after this.